Have you ever really, truly stopped to think about the journey of a friendship? I mean, it's such a huge part of being human, right? But we don't often look at it from start to finish. So today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We'll explore the whole journey, from that very first spark to those deep, lasting bonds, and really get into what makes these connections so important to us.
This quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? We don't get a say in our family, but our friends, well, they're the family we actually get to choose for ourselves. And that choice, that's what's so powerful. It's like you're both saying, hey, I see you, I get you, and I want you in my life. That one choice gives these relationships a special kind of strength that honestly shapes who we become.
All right, so every great friendship has to start somewhere. And usually it's just this tiny spark, a shared joke, a common interest, just a little moment where you click with someone. It's this small flicker of connection that has all the potential to become something so much bigger. So let's dive into how these amazing connections actually get started.
At its heart, this is what it's all about. A real friendship is way more than just having someone to hang out with. It's finding that person who really, truly gets you. The one who listens not just to what you're saying, but to what you're not saying. It's about being accepted with all your quirks and flaws, no strings attached. And that is such a rare and wonderful thing.
It's kind of crazy when you think about it, right? The biggest, most important friendships of our lives can start with the simplest little thing. The source material gives this great example of a shy classmate who just asks another person, hey, want to study together? That one small move, that single hello, can be the little push that starts a life-changing friendship. Okay, so you've got that initial spark. Now what? Well, now the real work starts. Building a friendship isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you actively build, brick by brick. So let's talk about how this two-way bridge gets built and why it needs effort from both sides to stand strong.
I love this metaphor of a bridge. It's just so perfect. Think about it. If you only build a bridge from one side, what happens? It's going to collapse, right? Friendships are exactly the same. They need constant effort, real care, and a little bit of maintenance from both people. It's this beautiful back and forth of giving and receiving, of just showing up for each other over and over again.
And this is where you really see the difference between a good friend and, well, a fake one. A true friend is like your anchor in a storm. They're the one who believes in you even when you don't believe in yourself. But a fake friend, they're only there for the sunny days. The key is learning to see who's willing to actually build that bridge with you and who's just stopping by to enjoy the view.
So what does being a true friend actually look like? Well, it's celebrating their wins, like they're your own. It's remembering the little things, the small details that make them who they are. And maybe the most important thing? It's having the guts to be honest with them, but always, always doing it with kindness.
But let's be real for a second. No friendship is perfect. Life gets messy, and even the strongest friendships, those solid bridges, are going to hit some rough patches. So what happens when you and a friend get into an argument?
We've all been there, right? Conflict is just a normal part of any relationship. We're human. We mess up, we say the wrong thing. But an argument doesn't have to be the end of the road. Actually, figuring out how to get through a disagreement can make a friendship even stronger and more resilient than it was before.
You know, the path to fixing things is actually pretty simple, even if it's not always easy. It starts with just listening. I mean, really listening to their side without planning your comeback. Then you have to be honest about how you feel. And finally, the step that changes everything: forgiveness.
There's this great story in the source about Lisa, who completely forgot her friend's birthday. Yeah, her friend was hurt, and that's real. But at the end of the day, their friendship was so much bigger than that one mistake. And that's the whole point. Choosing to forgive and putting the relationship first is what helps a friendship not just survive a fight, but actually grow from it.
So, we've talked about the foundations of friendship and the challenges. But what does all of this look like in the world we live in today? Let's switch gears and talk about the digital age and how all our screens and apps are changing the way we do friendship.
This is a huge question, isn't it? Are online friends real friends? Well, the source argues that the place, whether it's a coffee shop or a chat window, isn't what matters. It's about the ingredients. If you have people who care, who listen, and who are honest with each other, then yeah, that connection can be just as real and just as deep.
Of course, there are definitely pros and cons. On the one hand, it's amazing. We can have deep friendships with people on the other side of the world and learn from totally different cultures. But on the other hand, you have to be careful. Not everyone online is who they say they are. So you've got to protect your information and just know that building that real trust might take a little more time.
Okay, to wrap things up, let's talk about the one thing that's guaranteed in life, and that includes friendships. Change. Friendships aren't something you can just put on a shelf and forget about. They're alive, and they have to grow and change as we do.
This is so important to remember. It's so easy to feel like you did something wrong when a friendship changes. But most of the time, it's just life. People's lives go in different directions, and accepting that this is totally normal is a huge part of having a healthy view on your friendships. It's okay.
And this leads to such a beautiful idea. Remember Lisa? She and her friend might not talk every single day anymore, but that connection, that bond, is still there, just as strong as ever. It teaches us that the real, true friendships don't need constant attention to survive. They're strong enough to handle time and distance, and you can pick them right back up, just like that. So as we finish up here, I want to leave you with this one question to think about. The people we choose, the ones we build these incredible bridges with, they are one of the best gifts in life. So just take a second to think, who is the friend that you are most grateful for today?